Now, this story is from January 2020 when I was in Pakistan in Lahore after staying there for 3 weeks, and then I was flying back to Norway from the Lahore airport. So I went inside the airport, and what I did not know was that at the Lahore airport you basically have one small security control before the check-in as well. So there are in total 2 security controls, one before check-in and then one passport and security control after check-in. So I went inside the airport and I thought, okay, this first security control just looks like a joke to me, so I just went around it in order to try and bunk it. So I went around it, and then there was this military guy dressed up as a soldier. He came up to me, he's like, hey, stop, where are you going? Wait, who are you? I got scared, man. I was like, oh shit, now something bad's gonna happen to me. So he asked me, okay, what's your name? Why did you go around the security control? I was like, okay, I did not know that this was important as well. And then he told me, okay, give me your passport, where are you going, all those random questions. And then he asked me, what do you do in Norway? I told him, and I was just done with third year of medical school back then, and I told him I was a doctor. And then the moment I said the word doctor, the guy, the soldier guy, he looked at me in the face and was like, oh, aap doctor hain, you're a doctor? There you go, please aap jaye, in Urdu. And I was like, oh my god, what the heck just happened to me? What's cooking, sapiens? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Arham and I'm a 5th year medical student at the University of Oslo in Norway. Now, from a very young age, we are taught in the brown desi community that you will only be successful in life if you are a doctor or if you become an engineer. That's what we hear from a very young age, from the very get-go, right? And especially the kind of respect doctors get in the brown community, it's quite insane. And I think you can imagine that from the example that I just gave you. And that respect factor might not be for ourselves, but it's still for our parents to know, okay, if I become a doctor, then my parents will get a lot of respect in society. And it's also the easiest way for everybody to sort of climb up the social ladder, because if you're a doctor, even if you're not that rich, if you're a doctor, by status, you will be up there. And that's why it's still very common that even if you yourself do not want to be a doctor, you will give that sacrifice and become a doctor for your parents, because you want them to have that sort of respect in the community. But the question is there something really wrong with becoming a doctor for those reasons, other than the typical reasons that we expect people to say, like, I wanted to help people, I want to save lives, I want to help humanity, and all that stuff? Because when you are a doctor and people ask you this question about why you become a doctor, they expect an answer like that, because they wanted to say, oh, it's a noble profession, I became a doctor because I really wanted to help people and save lives and be there for humanity. But my question isn't why did you become a doctor, because there are other noble professions as well. Nursing is a noble profession. You still help people, you save lives as a nurse as well. Teaching is a great noble profession. Why did you not choose those professions? On one side, people say that you should become a doctor only if you're really passionate about medicine as a subject, or if you really want to help people. But why? That is my question. Why should only those two be the main reasons for becoming a doctor? Because these two reasons, I think, belong in the ideal world, in the perfect world. And my friends, by no means do we live in a perfect world. The real world is very different. You have people struggling to make their ends meet. You have people struggling on an everyday basis to get food on their tables, right? And in this kind of scenario, doctor, engineer, or a lawyer, these are kind of the professions where you are secured a nice, safe job. You will have a decent future. You will have a good status within your society. You will have respect. You will have a decent amount of money. You won't be like super duper rich in most cases, but you will still have that money that is required to sort of live a decent, basic, affordable lifestyle, So why does the intention behind becoming a doctor matter so much? That is my question. I believe that if you become a doctor for those reasons that I just mentioned, it's fine as long as something good gets done, as long as we are getting more doctors who are generally, helping people. Then what's wrong with people becoming a doctor? For me, I think in the real world, the intention does not really matter that much, as long as anything good gets done. That's my own personal opinion. Because if you become a doctor for these other reasons, you are still not harming anybody, you're still not bribing anybody, you're not being a corrupt, person in society. You're still a doctor who just wants to, earn some good money and have a decent way of living in society, being able to afford a nice car, being able to afford a decent house to really support their family. What's wrong with that? In the perfect ideal world, if doctors were becoming doctors just for the sake of helping people, right, then patients would not be charged any money to get treatment. But the truth is that the reality is that you have a table that you have to put food on, you have kids that need to survive, you have a family that you have to support. But here in the West, it's actually quite different. You have a lot of other professions as well which are treated, actually almost all professions are treated with equal respect, equal dignity. Everybody earns a decent level of money, at least in Scandinavian countries here in Europe. I don't want to be generalizing all countries, but at least in Norway, that's how it is. All professions have a certain level of respect and dignity, and hence most people become doctors because they really wanted to help people and become doctors because money or status for them is not an incentive, it's not a motive, because everybody can have that status or that respect by doing well in their significant or in their respective professions. And there is one small thing I want to mention as well. In the East, in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, in these countries, we see a lot of women, a lot of ladies becoming doctors just because they want to sort of increase their value for when it comes to marriage, because if you are a doctor, right, then automatically you will be getting a lot better rishtas or proposals for marriage, because obviously you want a doctor and every family wants a doctor in their house. So a lot of women become doctors and never practice medicine because, well, when they get married, they get involved too much in family life and they don't want to work because they just became a doctor because of that, proposal in order to increase their marriage value. And in this particular scenario, I feel that it's sort of very, very unfair on the women because they have to go through so much pain, 5-6 years of medical school, studying hard for what? Just to become a housewife, right? You're not really using all of that competence or the abilities that you have acquired, all that knowledge that you could actually spend for some patients, help people out. But you're not never ever using it. It's just that you are sitting at home taking care of your kids. But at the same time, I have a certain level of understanding for that as well, because in that culture, in that society, it's not that common, or not as in the West, it's not that common for women to go out and work, right, and have a job, full-time job. So just to sum this whole thing up, I personally believe that we live in such a messed up world that if anything good gets done, then I don't care what the intention of the person behind that was. I don't care if you became a doctor for money, status, or for actually helping people, as long as you are a doctor and you're actually, working and sort of helping people. I don't care why you became a doctor. I don't care why people give money to the poor. Is it because you want other people to think highly of you, or is it genuinely because you want to help people and give them money? I don't care. As long as you're giving money, something good gets done, because that is all the world needs right now. We need people who can do good deeds. I don't care what their intention is, but as long as something good gets done, I'm happy. That's my personal take on it. That's a wrap for today's Sapiens. I hope you found the video useful, and if you did, then you might want to check out this video, which will surely add some value to your lives as well. And before you leave, kiss that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care. Peace.